The second session, as almost all the sessions throughout family psychoeducation, begins with socializing, simply bringing yourself and the family up to date about what's been going on in their life. That includes a consumer, obviously, if they're present for these sessions. But also, this is the beginning of the process of letting the family know that they're going to hear a little bit about what you've been doing, too, so that you're on an equal footing. The session then usually turns its focus to the impact of the illness on the families and other support persons, as well as the consumer. In some cases, this session may best be done in separate sessions, that is, consumer and family members apart, especially if the consumer is not yet to the point that they accept that he or she has an illness or a problem. Separate sessions may also be indicated if the family member or consumer may be treated in terms that are too harshly impacting on the other. However, some benefit, and sometimes considerable benefit, can be accrued if the consumer can participate in some aspects of this discussion with family members. In any case, at times a family member may require two joining sessions to verbalize feelings of loss, despair, grief, and frustration about the coping demands of the illness. The practitioner offers support, validation, recognition of the normal kinds of human reactions that people have to this illness, but they also want to avoid having the family become lost in their past despair and frustration. It's a balance between acknowledging and empathizing with the family's members' experience and also maintaining hope and a perspective on the future that says that this can get better, that in fact that it will get better. It's during this session that the practitioner usually would learn about the family's sources of support, that sociogram I mentioned, and other resources that they use to cope with the effects of the illness. Again, you'd close out the session with some socializing, thinking ahead to what the family might be doing for the next week or 2 weeks until you meet with them, and kind of sharing in what your own life holds, as long as it's reasonably normal and everyday. So that's the second session.
In this meeting, we get to explore a little bit about how you guys feel about the illness, how it's impacted your family, your relationship, and just have a chance to kind of talk about that a little bit. So Deb, I wonder if we start with you, and I'm curious about your feelings about it. You've had this diagnosis. How does it feel to you? How does it impact your life?
Well, at first, many years ago, it was very scary because even the doctors didn't know what to diagnose me with. And it seems like I get one diagnosis and then it gets changed. Medicine gets changed.
Over the years.
Yeah.
And that is a very valid concern, and I hear that from a lot of people. That can be very frustrating, to be wondering what's going on, get one diagnosis, then get another one, have one med, then another med. That can be very frustrating. How have you coped with that?
Right now I have a doctor who I've had for many years. And one good thing is I know when I go to his hospital that he's going to be my doctor instead of having a different doctor each time. This past hospitalization, I was at a different hospital. The only positive I can see about it is they did I forgot the word.
Was it electrocardiogram?
An EKG on me, and they found out that the medicine Geodon that I was on was in the danger zone of affecting my heart. And for the number of times that I've been at the other hospital, I don't ever remember them doing an EKG on me, but they could have.
So one of the ways you've found to cope with getting different diagnoses and having different opinions about your diagnosis or which meds you're taking is to find a doctor at the hospital that you go to who can be consistent with your care.
That's correct.
Yeah. how about for you, Teresa? How has this experience been for you? And Deb's talking about getting different diagnoses over the years, and I'm sure you were there for a lot of that.
Yeah, my husband and I just, from the beginning didn't know what was going on. And like my daughter said, it was so frustrating. We'd get one diagnosis, then another. And to tell you the truth, I really didn't know a lot about the things they were talking about. So I'm relieved too that she has one doctor now. We have a diagnosis, and we're just doing the best that we can. And now, there's this latest thing with this medication and the EKG, but it's been kind of a hard time because I don't talk to a lot of other people about this except Deb and her sister. Her sister's a nurse, so we talk a little bit, but it's not something I talk to my friends about very much, and so I don't hear very much about it.